This is Brendan Craddock of the YouTube channel of Path of Science Fantasy. Okay, now this one is named, as you see in the title, it's called When Science Fantasy Invades. This is like a story for an idea of there's been ideas of aliens and science fiction stuff invading, and then there's been stuff like invading the Earth, and then there's stories of fantasy. I think there's a few stories of fantasy stuff invading the world, but I've come up with the idea of what if a science fantasy thing invades, with science fantasy and science fiction and fantasy together. How in this fictional story would the world react to science fantasy stuff invading? Well, for one thing, if the world is under attack by something that could probably do magic and have advanced technology, we would probably have a hard time. The people in the movie, just like in the real world, because it would be like in the real world, but the movie would be having a hard time fighting it because in science fantasy you can have magic and other supernatural stuff along with advanced technology, and it'd be bad that we would not just be able to take out their. We also, would be also out of advance, but also would have the magic powers because with magic, they could have the ability to maybe have some kind of magic that could let them travel through mirrors, and they could randomly have assassins pop up out of our mirrors, and they could hide in our paintings and stuff, or literally have monsters come out of a TV, or we'd be fighting them, and they could be coming at us with not just laser guns, but also be throwing fireballs and summoning demons at us and shooting lightning. Or they could have an army of giant people, or some kind of high tech battle armor, with some kind of power armor, and have some kind of chainsaw sword and be chainsawing people up and crushing people and stuff with gravity hammers and stuff. And then there'd be like you can do anything when you have a setting where the world, or a movie or anything where the world's getting invaded by a science fantasy kind of invasion. And what would the things be invading? Would they be demons? Would there be some kind of alien race? Would they be elves or dark elves or some type of elf or some type of orc, or just a different variety of races that's in fantasy and sci-fi that ain't human? Or maybe they'd be maybe there would be techno wizards that have weapons that are both magic and technology mixed together. A bio wizard weapons where it'd be weapons made out of flash or something, and they have both bio wizardry and techno wizardry weapons. Where they won't just have guns that would cast spells and shoot lightning, and have automatic shooting machine guns that shoot out fireballs, but also maybe they'll have weapons where they can throw a big net, a big old ball at you that would be a nest of magical bees that would pop open, and swarm of these fist sized killer bees would come out, and the thing would just, because it's magic, it would never run out of bees. It would just keep coming until it swarmed down and killed everybody. Or they could throw some kind of magical smoke that anyone gas masks on and stuff, you still can't protect yourself from, and it would make you just fall over dead. Or they could bring the army of the dead. They could every soldier they kill, they just bring back alive with necromancy and have them come at us, and have our own dead soldiers come at us. Or simply they could just simply come by on a ship and just drop a bunch of bombs and then bring the bombs alive and have a bunch of necromantic skeletons come and attack us. And the necromantic skeletons could have like some kind of magic that we couldn't take off, couldn't deal with. So no matter how many times we blow the skeleton and blow the bone to pieces and burn them to dust, they still just keep coming back. We would never have a chance to stop beating them because no matter what we do, they just keep coming back. And then there's a lot of stuff you can do with that. Um, Show this to people if you can. Um, like and subscribe if you want more science fantasy stuff, and put a comment of what you think about the idea of like a setting where a movie or something where science fantasy things would be invading, or even think what you think about what science fantasy thing can do invading, or like what would you have protect the like what would come save the world from a science fantasy thing that everything would it be another science fantasy thing like maybe anti-evil science fantasy thing, or like because science fantasy can be good or evil. You can have science fantasy heroes that are good, then you can have evil science fantasy villains, or an evil army of evil science fantasy people and good science fantasy people. Which science fantasy ain't nothing but this science fiction fantasy together. Um, that's all I gotta say though. Like and subscribe, put a comment. If you got an idea, share this if you can. May science fantasy be with you.